Today's top 5 is 5 times Leonardo DiCaprio should have already won an Oscar.
Oh, it's Friday night. Don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I could sit here and pick my nose while I watch a brand new video. Whoa. Top 5 Friday. Top 5 Friday tonight.
Okay, so recently Leonardo DiCaprio just won his first Oscar. Congratulations to him. One of my favorite actors of all time, and I got a top 5 list here of nominated roles that he did not win an Oscar for, and I'm going to tell you why he should have. He played Calvin Candy in the movie Django Unchained. He actually lost to one of his co-stars, Christoph Waltz. Sorry, I got the name written right here because I don't script anything. And not to take away from any other actor that he lost to on this list, but Leonardo DiCaprio, his role, like I said, Calvin Candy, he played a plantation owner who on the surface seemed like a legit businessman, and once you really got down and behind the scenes of it, he was just nasty, vicious. He sold the character. You're going to hear me say that a lot, actually. He made it believable. Watching him in this role, I would believe that that's what people may have been like in this time. Wolf of Wall Street. This was in 2013. He lost to Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. His character was Jordan Belfort, and basically he was a guy who rose from nothing. He made millions in the stock market. Started his own company. He basically was a man-child, a man who never really grew up mentally. Not to say that he had mental handicaps or anything like that, but he had all this money and he was just partying and having fun while making millions and millions of dollars. Well, he gets caught up in illegal trades and drugs, and he starts getting investigated, and the story goes on from there. Well, his character, Jordan Belfort, he basically was kind of this slick-talking, I don't want to say con man, but he was one of those guys who just whenever he talked to you, it always felt like he was giving you a motivational speech, and it really made you believe what he was saying. Like he actually believed what he was saying. Aviator. This was 2004. He lost to Jamie Foxx, who was in Ray, and he played Howard Hughes. This is a biopic about Howard Hughes, the aviation mogul, genius, tycoon, whatever you want to call him, and he basically was Howard Hughes. You can probably a role like this, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy to act. I can't act worth a shit, but you can take documentation of what these guys went through. Howard Hughes had very what's the word I'm looking for here? Mental issues, if you will. Not mental issues to the point of retardation, but mental issues to the point of fear of being around people, being outside, things like that. And there's a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio just completely loses it and breaks down, locks himself up, holds himself up in a room for a while. And again, it feels like you're watching Howard Hughes as it's happening. I put this one so high on the list because it actually is probably one of, if not one of, probably my favorite movie of his. It's definitely up there, but it'd be Catch Me If You Can, 2002. He lost to Jack Nicholson in About Schmidt. And his character is Frank Abagnale Jr., another biopic. This was based on a real-life person who, by the time he was 19, made millions and millions of dollars, passing himself off as a Pan Am pilot, a lawyer, a doctor. So DiCaprio, not only did he have to play Frank, he had to play Frank as a lawyer, Frank as a doctor, Frank as a pilot. You know, he would go and he'd get dressed up, and he would falsify these checks, is what he would do. Well, in the process of all that, he's having to con everyone around him, his wife included in the film, and make everyone believe that he is who he says he is. And basically, he just, I don't know, decided he didn't want to work, but he definitely decided that he wanted the checks that these professions were making. So he lived his life as all these things in these different professions. And of course, classic tale of FBI catching on to you and going after you, and he's just on the run. Hence the name of the title, Catch Me If You Can. Well, again, it really makes you think. You don't think, to me, you're not watching Leo, you're watching Frank. And that's something that DiCaprio is really extremely good at doing, making you see him as the character he's portraying. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? He played Arnie Grape. That was 1993. He lost to Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive. Why is this number one? Let me tell you why this is number one. When I first saw this movie, this was the very first thing I'd ever seen Leonardo DiCaprio in. This was a time where I wasn't watching a lot of TV at the time. I've never really been a huge TV watcher, but at this time I definitely wasn't watching a lot of TV. And he had been on Growing Pains. I had stopped watching Growing Pains at that point. Leo came late into the Growing Pains life cycle, if you will. I really thought that this person who was playing this handicapped character was actually handicapped. It wasn't until I think Titanic came out when I saw starring Leonardo DiCaprio and I saw him normal, if you will, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I believed that he was a mentally, physically challenged person in this role. Definitely think he should have won the Oscar for that one. And besides that, Match in the Gas Tank, boom, boom. So that's my top 5 list of movies DiCaprio's been nominated for, but didn't win an Oscar for, and should have won an Oscar for. So put your top 5 down below, tell me why, and as always, if you got a top 5 topic you want to hear me ramble on about, put it in the comments. If I like it, I'll do a video.